Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my Out of the Park Baseball 21 series with the Detroit Tigers turned Austin prospects after our owner moved us to Austin, Texas this past off season. Now, by the standings, you might be able to tell that we are not quite at the end of the regular season. And well, actually, it actually shows that we are on September 5th. I didn't realize it actually shows the actual date of the season on the screen. But yeah, so we are going to be basically following the month of September and the playoff chase of the Austin prospects to make the playoffs in our first season after the move. Now we're 4.5 out of the Kansas City Royals, but their team overperforming by a little bit. I've looked at their expected win-loss, and right now they're sitting at 76 wins. Their expected win-loss, so really, we are actually performed to our expected record to the T. So they're really they're a 76 win team, or should be a 76 win team at this point. So really we're 2.5 back in kind of that round. But of course the expected win loss is not what shows in the standings for them currently. So we have 4.5 games to make up, and then here. We are one game back of the Blue Jays for the wild card. Now let's take a look at these, not the standings, we're at the standings. We're going to take a look at our team schedule to see how it's going to break down for the rest of the season. Now here we have a big 4-game series with the Toronto Blue Jays, as you can see here, who is again that team that's ahead of us and is currently manning that second wild card spot. And then we have a 2-game little quick interleague matchup at home against the Reds, and then from then on, it's all division games. We have a series here against the Twins, against the White Sox on the road, Twins on the road, Kansas City on the road. Wow, so a lot of road games here. We have this, stretch will be in Chicago, day off. We have the quick trip to Minnesota, and then back on the Kansas City, and then a home series with Cleveland to wind down the season. So, the ball's on our court, really. All division games pretty much to finish out this month. And then, before that, we have a really big series here against Toronto, where you really have a chance to, really surpass them, that second wild card spot. And then, just making sure that our roster is set with our 28 guys. I don't quite remember who I called up. That was like a few days ago. Actually, I do. It's Morhone. He's up. He's back from his injury. So he's up, and yeah, that's right. Ronnie Garcia, that is the other guy we brought up. And yeah, I decided to do that because, with Wentz, there's really no... Oh, that's right. We do have Hunter Bishop up as well. He is there. And then Mick Adolfo, he came up. I actually don't know if I mentioned this before, but here are the injuries that we have going forward. Basabe, he's down. He actually started picking up a little bit, so it's kind of a little bit rough that he ended up getting hurt. But because of course he wasn't performing very well to start the season, but then he kind of picked it up. Not close to what he was last year, but still picking it up. So maybe he could have gotten close to what he was last year. And then Penn Murphy, he actually was really good out of the bullpen for us so far this year, but he's done for the year. He ruptured his ulnar collateral ligament, and he's down for a whole year, so he won't be back this season. And we'll miss some of next year. And then, Basabe, down for 3 weeks. I don't exactly remember if that was... I doubt it was in the last video. But yeah, we have Mick Adolfo, who actually performed really well in AAA this year, as you can see. Slash line 270, 376, and 453. So not bad. He's historically performed well in the minor leagues. He's he's 28. He's a corner guy, and I think he should be able to fill in quite nicely for us in corner spot. And then we have Bishop. He's that fourth outfielder since Parker Meadows has been absolutely awful. Parker Meadows, we must have sent him down recently as well. So Parker Meadows has been bad. And then I'm not going to get too much into team performance here, but we got some guys who are hot. That's Siegler, Bell, and Blaze Jordan. All these guys really bouncing back. Really nice to see Jordan really picking it up here at the end. And he's, his OPS is above league average now, 101. Still, not what you would want from a first baseman, but still not bad at all. So after all of that rambling, I think it's probably time we should get into simulation. so we can get closer to the postseason. So we win game 1 at Toronto, and the series is outside the road. So we pick 2 up immediately against Toronto. Great start to this series. And 3-0, can we go for the sweep? This would be amazing if we can get this sweep right here. Come on. And yes, we go for the sweep, a 9-5 victory in Game 4. We have some minor league guys retiring, which is why that message popped up. But yeah, so we're now a half game back into the division. 3-game lead on the Blue Jays. Wow. I mean, actually, quick one to see our personnel. Does that little message reminded me about that. Tony Mansolino, do we want to bring him back? I'm honestly not sure, because I don't really like they just slow hook against relief. I mean, I think we should be able to find someone who is a little bit better. Barry Larkin. Yeah, it's fine. We can bring him back whenever. Yeah, I guess we won't, because if you don't in this game, if you don't re-up with these guys like immediately, I mean, there's a time like during the season, where they ask for an extension of contract. If you don't give it to them, they just refuse to work for you usually if you try to re-sign them. So that's kind of the risk we'd lose in Mansolino. Because, I mean, he made the playoffs in his first season. We haven't been back since. In 2023, his first... Wait, what's his relationship again? Yeah, high influence with guys like Paolini was important. Bad relationship with our pitchers, though. So, yeah, I think we just might see what's available with him. So, yeah, enough getting off of topic. Let's go back to the simulation. Now we have that little 2-game set against Cincinnati, which we win again. Rodriguez was a guy who I had the DFA because he was up for a little bit, and that just happened to be his last option. Abrams, he's out for 6 days, moderate effect, I think. I mean, he's only getting every 6th game at shortstop against righties anyway. Or every 5th, every 6th against lefties, actually. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and keep on rolling then. As you know, we pick up that game. And then lost against Cincinnati there. Blaze Jordan goes down for a few days. Only influences his running, though, so not too concerned about that. I mean, yeah, if anything, we can just throw him in there and flip-flop him and Bell. The AI, I guess, would do that. It probably won't, but it could if we were micromanaging everything in this game. But that's a little bit tedious, but, theoretically, that's what I would have happen. And then, Basabe suffers a setback, so that means he definitely won't be back for at least most of the postseason. That is not too great. I think we had an off day after the Cincinnati series, so we win against Minnesota there, 7-4. And then, can we drop one against Minnesota there? Can we win the series 2-1? And we don't win the series, so we drop the series in Minnesota. We're 80-69, nice. And yeah, we're tied for the division lead right now. And the Blue Jays are half game back, and we're actually 3 games behind the Angels. So possibly, if it comes to it, we could be looking at a home wildcard game, which would be nice. Let's actually go by the calendar view now. And we'll go ahead and do that. Oops, I think I missed the check mark, and I did. Let's go back to team schedule so you guys can see the kind of game by game, but I know it's probably a little hard to keep up with the little schedule thing there and the right under the big green day by day sim button. Okay, so yeah, we win our 2nd game there in Chicago. Can't win that 3rd game. Wow, blowout loss right there. And then we have our day off here before our series at Minnesota. Of course, we just dropped 2 to them in the previous series, in that 3-game series. Now playing them on the road, see if we can go ahead and take this series. That'd be pretty big. And, we lose a tough one, it looks like, here in extras. Let's check this one out. Yeah, it looks like, it was a pretty even game. They got on the board first, and then we scored in bunches a little bit there, and then we lost in the 12th. Yeah, looks like Klaus gave up the winning run there. Robson gave us 2 innings of relief, and wow, yeah, Wentz didn't even go far in the start. He only went 4 innings, and then we were able to kind of cover the rest of the game from there. So the bullpen is definitely taxed now in this Minnesota series. Hopefully we get some strong starts here, and 3-0 has to be a strong start by whoever started that game for us. Which, if that was Wentz, I'd probably say that's like Musgrove or something making that start. Okay, so it keeps popping us back into the mail room with emails there. Okay, so now we're on the huge series with the Royals. You know, head to head. We're 2 games back of them now. Not playing particularly well in our last 10, 3-7. Yikes. And oof, we're actually a half game back in the wild card race now. After that, and only a half back of the 1.5 back of the Angels, excuse me. So I mean, this wildcard race is very tight now. The Red Sox have kind of emerged; they're 1.5 back of us. So I mean, they're definitely still a player in this wildcard hunt as well. So definitely look out for that. And they're way behind their division race. The Blue Jays have already, not the Blue Jays, the Rays have already clinched, and everyone else in our division is out. So they're just playing spoiler at this point. And I did not mean to go to front office. We're going to go back to the team schedule for this huge series against the Royals. And, oof, we lose 3-0. Man, Rocker turned in a pretty good pitching performance there. You know, allowing 3 runs through 6. But we just couldn't get anything going with the bats. I mean, we had 9 hits. So, I mean, we just couldn't string things together. It looks like even though, the middle of our order was very good this game. Paulini, Walker, Bell, they all had Paulini and Bell both had 2 hits. Cameron got 2 hits at the bottom of the lineup there. Yeah, I mean, we had more hits than them. Looks like they just had a big homer, yeah. Solo homer by Witt. So actually I have no idea how they got. Oh, here, yeah, the scoring's right here, duh. That solo home run by Witt. Wow, all those runs came in the first 2 innings. Then Rocker settled in. Unbelievable. That's a tough first game of the series to drop. That is very tough. Okay, we win the second game. That's a 7-5 win. That looks pretty good. And lots of homers in this game. Walker with the 2-run homer. Kerstad, he's on the Royals apparently. Baltimore Orioles draftee with the second pick that happened recently. And Paulini hit a 2-run homer as well. So pretty good there. They did... I don't know why it says bottom. Oh, that must be that's the biggest event of the game that affected the win probability. So that's why the double there is there mentioned. It wasn't a run scoring thing. So Walker, Paulini lead the way with 2-run homers each. So that is fantastic to see. So we're definitely going to need to pick up these next 2 games if we want to jump ahead of the Royals, though, in the standings and win the division. And we do. We win a tight 3-2 game here. That looks pretty sweet. Let's see. Isbell hit a homer against Wentz. That was in the 2nd inning. And, so it looks like Jordan Walker, he walked with the bases loaded, which brought a run in. And then Blaze Jordan hit a run-scoring single in the top of the 6th, which gave us the lead where we then held on. And, that's kind of when our bullpen came in there. Montoya and Jimenez came in to slam the door. And Zach Houston also, he's been pretty good for us this year out of the bullpen. He's honestly been kind of just an under-the-radar reliever, just been good out of, in that kind of middle relief for us. So, yeah, he's been good. Now we're going to go take on the last game against the Royals. A 3-1 series win here would be big for us. Let's see if we can get it. And we do an 8-5 victory that goes 12 innings. We score 3 runs in the 12th. Jung hit a solo homer in the 9th that tied it and brought it to extras. Then the top of the 12th, Mick Adolfo hit a run-scoring single, and Paulini also hit a 2-run single. So that is awesome to see. The offense was very alive in this game. 17 hits for us this game. Wow. Yeah, everyone in the starting lineup got a hit, which is pretty cool to see. Home runs. Josh Bell hit a homer in that game. Pretty cool to see. Mize gave us the start. He gave us 6 2/3 solid innings of 4-run ball, but 3 of them were earned. And Miguel Diaz was able to give us 2 1/3 innings of relief in this game. So yeah, wow, great stuff from us. Now we're back pulling even with the Royals in this one now. And actually, we are also tied with the Angels for the number 1 wildcard spot. So, things looking pretty good for us here. Wow, the Astros have won 112 games. Ridiculous. Yeah, so, things are looking up. So, it's either looking like we're going to win the division or we're going to have a home wildcard game, which I would take either of those. But, of course, I would much rather win the division outright so we can, of course, get a series and not just kind of the 1-game wildcard game. And we win against Cleveland. That is big. But the Royals also won. Who are they playing? Let's definitely check that. Their schedule. Who are they playing? I assume it's a division opponent, and yeah, it is. They have a series at home against the Twins. So if we want to go ahead and win the division, we're definitely going to keep on having to win, because I definitely don't think that they're going to drop these games. And Tyler Freeman, he's a 22-game winning streak, and Kumar Rocker goes down for 3 weeks. That is tough. That is so tough. Wow, that really sucks. That we're not gonna have him for. He wouldn't make any more regular season starts, I guess, or maybe he would. Actually, I don't know. But anyways, it just really sucks to lose him, because we won't have him for that first playoff series no matter what now. And probably won't have him for most of the postseason. So let's go ahead and okay, so we won against Cleveland. Yeah, so we won. Let's finish the day. And now moving on to the last day of the regular season, let's check out how this goes. And we are a game up on the Royals. So if we win here, we clinch the division. We won 5 in a row. So yeah, if we win here, we clinch the division. If we lose, wow, the Red Sox have come all the way out of nowhere. Yeah, 8-2 in their last 10, and they're kind of tied here too. So, really anything could happen here. So if we win the division, and if not, if we lose, we honestly may be out. It's very possible that if we lose, we could just be out of the playoffs altogether, which would be absolutely crazy. I'm kind of tempted to, let's actually go ahead and we're going to play this last game of the season. Since so much is riding on it, we're going to play this game against Cleveland. Yeah, so we're going to have Ronnie Garcia, who is really just up because of expanded rosters, and he's now getting a chance to start a game because of the injury of Rocker. He's actually got 3 starts so far this year, so he's actually started a little bit. I'm not quite sure who he took over for, but he's been good ever since he took over for Musgrove is still in the rotation. Maybe it was Diaz. Not quite sure, but it doesn't really matter because he's starting this game. So we're gonna jump into it now. So jumping to the game, we of course go by half inning for the first few innings. And they jump on us for 3 runs in the first inning. 2-run homer by Lindor. And Zane Zerbrug, he's a pretty good bat for them. Looks like corner outfielder guy. He had a solo home run to add on to that. Can we get anything going? We don't. And immediately they've 8 on the board in the first 2 innings. That's fantastic. But we're going to need at least 1 more inning out of Garcia to just... Okay, can we actually get another run? We really can't tax our bullpen this much, so we're going to need him to give us another inning. He does, and they don't get any more runs. But we are in some deep trouble right now for our current situation, and our bullpen is just taxed beyond repair. Yikes, this is not looking good at all. Dayton, he's going to come and give us an inning. I actually don't know if he can go multiple innings, because I definitely will try. Yeah, I think we just have to have him try to go another inning. We're already down 8, so we get 3 back, so we're only down 5. The 6th inning now. Looks like, Bell got on with a single. Blaze Jordan had a double, and Wenzel Perez, of all people, hit Josh Bell and Blaze Jordan home, who are not the fleetest of foot. Can Dayton give us a scoreless inning? He does. They have a lot of lefties in this lineup, which really helps because the only people that we had that are really available are Morhone and Dayton. And Morhone, I know he can give us multiple innings, and he's 100% rested, so he's gonna try to give us 2 innings here. Can we do anything? Oh my gosh, what an offensive outpouring that inning. We're up 12-8 now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, everything started off with Adolfo single, Walker singled, Adolfo scored, Paulini got on, he was walked, yeah, so, yeah, Jordan singled, Perez doubled again. I mean, this game changed quickly. Adolfo came up again, and he singled home a run, Walker singled again, Wild Pitch scored a run. I mean, what a crazy game. Oh my gosh. Oh, we didn't even we let Dayton pitch another inning. See, well, Marhone's going to need to give us 1, and he does. Is he tired though? Oh, he only gave us 9 pitches right there, so he gets through that inning. Half inning again. Marhone give us another inning. Oh, and then now they pull ahead 13-12. Probably should have monitored that inning much closer than should have, but it looks like a lot of walks here. Oh my gosh, this game is insane. Well, I mean, we're gonna get Jimenez up, our best reliever, for this next inning. Now Freeman's up in the 8th inning. Let's go batter by batter, actually, in the 8th now. Let's see what he can do to lead off the inning, and it looks like he is going to hit one hard line drive, but the center fielder gets to it, and he doesn't have he's not an outstanding glove in the field, so kind of surprising that he gets to that one. Adolfo now up, he's been good all game, and he hits one out to the left, and that one's going to get down in front of him. Unlike the previous batter, Paulini up now. And they have Eric Lauer, a lefty, in. Do we want to pinch hit for him? Probably not, because even though it's a lefty-lefty matchup, he definitely is better than anything we have on the bench. So, yeah, they're just bringing in Lauer now to face Paulini. So, he hits into a double play. That's rough for sure. Now, Jimenez, we're going to go ahead and bring him in. I can't believe I mismanaged the top of the 8th. That's definitely my fault right there. Now 1-0 count to Rocchio, I think. He dribbles one back to the mound, and Jimenez throws it back to first. So 1 away now. Valera standing in now. He's 1 for 5 today. Strike 3 on a changeup. So now Lindor. No count to him, so something's definitely going to be in play here. He hits one out to center. Cameron can't get to it. That one's going to roll all the way to the wall. So Lindor, 2-out double here. See if he can provide some insurance for Cleveland. Hopefully Jimenez can snuff it out. And, so we're just going to pitch to him. 0-2 count on the batter now, and he strikes out every time in OOTP. 0-2 count is a strikeout now. Bottom of the 9th, our last at-bats. Jordan Walker up now. Let's see what he can do for us. Of course, the cornerstone of this franchise. We drafted him number 1 overall, and he can do anything. Strikes out on the 1-2 count. Now Josh Bell's up. He has a 1-2 count to his name as well, and he is also striking out. Check this swing on the appeal. That was strike 3. So Blaze Jordan now, who had a rough start to the season, our Rule 5 draft pick, still kind of rough after his kind of hot uptick in the last few weeks, but it's all coming down to him against James Karinchak, and pretty much just okay reliever for the Indians, who had a great season last year, actually. And actually has kind of similar numbers this year, but still, another 1-2 count. Jordan, he's 2 for 4 today, and he strikes out. So every batter in the ninth inning comes in and strikes out on a 1-2 count, and we lose a wild game. Yeah, wow. Look at that win probability. I mean, just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Just literally peaks and valleys right there. I mean, that's one wavy line. We dropped that one. Unbelievable. Are the standings updated besides that? They're not. Oh, we actually clinched the division. Wow, I didn't even realize. The Royals, yeah, they're done. They didn't even play a game today. Or maybe they did. They did, and they lost. So it looks like we are going to the playoffs after all. So that is crazy. So, I mean, that game was off the walls insane. In the wild card, the Angels, they clinched the wild card and will have a home playoff game, I assume. And then the Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Royals are all tied at 86 wins. Really glad we're not in that mess. Actually, the Red Sox still have yet to play, it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and sim the day, actually, and see how this kind of updates. And yeah, I don't know why the Red Sox just haven't played as many games as anybody else. Do they? I'm gonna guess do they have like a rain out or something? I don't quite understand. Yeah, and it actually looks like they do, and they have this game today against the Orioles. So it must have been a rain out, or the regular season ended, whatever. But they end up losing, so let's go ahead and see how that affects the playoffs. And yeah, I really don't think it does end anything because they're still tied with the Blue Jays and the Royals. Oh no, yeah, that's right, because they just had one less loss than the Blue Jays and the Royals, so now they actually are tied with all of those teams. Yeah, it looks like the Red Sox and Royals have a game here, and then the Blue Jays play whoever wins this game. And then it looks like that's how this is going to be decided. So we're actually going to go ahead and sim through there, and Basabe is available now, which is good. Hunter Bishop. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to demote him, and then we're going to bring Basabe up. He's going to join the Major League roster. Rocker is down for 2 weeks still. It's a 2 full weeks. So I think, honestly, we're just going to keep him around on the roster. And as soon as he comes back, we're going to need to throw him back out there. Go back to the schedule here to see this last game to decide who's making the playoffs. The Royals won. And see, Paolini was a 2020 player this offseason, which was interesting. As this playoff situation finally sorted out, it is the Blue Jays come away with that second wildcard spot. The Royals, our division rival, were close, but they did not win that last tiebreaker game, so they are not in it. Okay, so now that the regular season is over, I guess we'll quickly go over like our team performances now and go over all that quickly. I was gonna save it for the kind of first postseason episode, but me playing through all of the postseason games makes the episodes long enough as it is, especially if we get into 5 games, especially when we get to, or if we get into 7-game series. So I think I'm just gonna go over them now. I mean, I feel like it's pretty fitting since we did end the regular season in this episode. So looking at our catching tandem of Corey Collins and Anthony Siegler, they both were phenomenal for us. Siegler is almost worth 3 wins this season. I mean, both of them had OPS pluses well over 100. Collins only played in 20 games, but I'm not too surprised at this production because, he is kind of a power on-base guy. Not the best defensive catcher, but good with the bat, so I'm not too surprised with that. Josh Bell, not much average or on-base skills this year, but still hit for a lot of power this year. Hit 30 home runs, which I was about to say might be our team lead, but I forgot we had Jordan Walker for a second. So, for a guy we're only paying not even $2 million this year, I am not mad at that at all. Blaze Jordan, our Rule 5 pick, kind of a mass season from him. OPS plus below 100. But still, I mean, he's only 22 and he's a Rule 5 guy, so not bad. I think I definitely still want to give him a shot at the first base job next season, so I'm sure that we'll be wanting to bring him back. Bowser, not a great season. Of course, our other Rule 5 pick, he didn't really play that much towards the end because we gave Freeman the everyday ABs because he was much better than him. Speaking of Freeman, fantastic season from him. Of course, not a guy who hits for a lot of power, only slugged barely over 400, but OPS plus still over 100. I mean, a fantastic on-base guy for us, really at the top of the lineup, so cannot complain about that at all. Jordan Walker now, of course, are just the best player on our team, really. 46 home runs for him, almost getting to 50. Drove in 128 runs, of course. That doesn't really mean anything, but I mean, he is in that 4 spot for us, and he gets all the opportunities, and he deserves them because he's a great hitter for us. Wow, ISO almost 300 there. OPS, not quite 900. That OPS plus 126, but still 5-win player for us. He was a first-time All-Star this year. Absolute dynamite season from him. CJ Abrams was a great bat for us so far this year. High BABIP, not many plate appearances, but still performed very well in those. We'll thank the BABIP gods for his season right there. No home runs, doesn't hit for much power, but still that contact bat and the BABIP gods again really just carrying him to a good season. Once up Perez turning in, I was about to say it was probably his best season, but he was actually a little bit better last year. So, kind of wrong about that. I actually want to see Walker's defense. How's his defense been at third base? His range is going down, but his zone rating is actually above average. But his days of playing, of basically just me dreaming of him playing shortstop are done. Perez actually did pretty good at defensively at shortstop. His ratings are improving there since we've been playing him there so much. Paolini, again, big bounce back season from last year. Of course, not maybe what we've expected him to do at this point, but still, getting better pretty much every season. I'm glad that his ratings are actually progressing now, which is good. But again, OPS plus over 100, plays good defense for us there in center. Can't complain about that. Daz Cameron, after his career partial year last year, kind of, falling off, but still Cameron, great defender for us in center field. Actually, more average defense this year, but still very useful guy, 2-win player, and definitely a guy who contributes to our lineup. Now, Mickey Adolfo, a guy who came on and just really replaced Basabe. I mean, actually, he was better than him this year. I mean, almost worth a win in only 35 games, and Basabe played 121, and he only was worth another win. So I'm definitely will give Adolfo. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm going to start him in the postseason, give him those opportunities there instead of a Basabe, at least for now, if he keeps performing. Basabe is definitely better defensively. Yeah, he is. Let's actually check how Adolfo was. Yeah, he was bad. Not too bad. Not as bad as he was in the minors defensively, but still, I think we're going to give him those ABs. Now, looking at pitching, Robson was bad for us, which is disappointing because his ratings are pretty sky high. Really hard thrower. It was only his first year though, and he's only 23, so I'm sure that he'll. I mean, we'll definitely give him plenty of chances. He'll be in the opening day bullpen next year, I'm sure. Paulino, he's kind of had a good start to the year, but not great after that. Klaus, he wasn't that great for us. Dayton, he wasn't that great for us. Again, Flores, kind of, just these kind of guys who are getting the guys who are about league average now. Rocker, his FIP was about 4. Only made 24 starts. Was a little injured this year. I'm kind of scared that he's becoming kind of injury prone like Mize and all of those guys. Wentz, best season of his career. Below 4 ERA, I should say. But that FIP pretty much right at 4. 3-win player though still this year. Career year for him this year, that's for sure. Joe Musgrove, great season from him. He was a little great get for us. Yeah, I mean, a guy that we're barely paying $1 million this year. He was a fantastic get for us, which is really, what brought us in the postseason this year. Those buy low veteran guys that we went on this season, like him and Josh Bell, that just really, skied for us. Chris Montoya, not great. He really hasn't been that great. Really hasn't been a 5-star reliever in my opinion. In the save, but still his ratings are still there. And I mean, he's a good guy to have in the bullpen nonetheless. Casey Mize, big bounce back season from him. He was a 4-1 player, not quite his 2023, but still very good season for us. Not striking out as many guys, but still not really walking anyone. So great ratio there. ERA plus 3.33, which was very good. Zach Houston again, guy I said, been sneaky good all save. Mid 3 FIP. I mean, he just comes out and just really holds the game for us in that kind of middle reliever spot that he's been his entire career with us. I mean, cannot really complain about the kind of production he's given. And then Miguel Diaz, another guy who we kind of bought low on. Brought him as as kind of a fringe starter guy. He won a World Series last year, actually, with the Padres. But, I mean, yeah, guy brought him to be a fringe starter guy. Ended up being a reliever for us. And really ended up being pretty good low 3 FIP guy. Best FIP on our team. For guys who, really played the whole season. But again, I mean, another really good buy low get for us this past offseason, which, really kind of summed up the offseason and what we were trying to do the offseason, which we really, I think, successfully nailed. And hopefully we can do the same thing next offseason to really bring us back to the success that we've had this year, of course, that we've made the playoffs now. So that's going to do it for this episode. Hopefully it's not too long, even though it really was an action-packed episode. So thank you guys for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this Out of the Park baseball content. And I will see you guys next episode in the playoffs.